Okay, so good morning, everyone. Today is 14th August and it is a Partition Horror Remembrance Day. With us, our keynote speaker from USA, Colonel Dr. M.P. Sen. Colonel Dr. M.P. Sen was commissioned into Signal of Indian Army and held various command and staff appointment during the Army service. He is an alumni of prestigious Military College of Telecommunication Engineering and Defense Service Staff College from India. As 2007, he were a premature retirement and has been Circle CEO for Bharti Infratel, Jammu Kashmir, as well as Indus Tower Limited. Country head in the Energy Global in India, CEO of the Madura Education Group, Rajasthan. Visiting faculty for various engineering colleges, Tata Institute of Social Studies, and various management institutions. He is a author of Naga movement, longest surviving insurgencies in Asia. His new book, Lockdown Diary, is under publication. Colonel MP Sen is a MSc in Physics, MSc in Defense and Strategy Study, MTech in Telecommunication and IT, PGD HR from LBS Institute of Management, PhD in Conflict Management from Javad University, Kolkata, Six Sigma Green Belt Professional, ISO 2018 certified lead author, and presently he is working as a director in an International Institute of Security and Safety Management, New Delhi. So today, I welcome Professor Dr. MP Sen in our organization through online, and today he is going to elaborate that how at the time of the partition people have faced both sides, because India and Pakistan both was the one country, but 14th August was the partition day and lot of the people were moved from India to Pakistan and lot of the people from Pakistan to move to India. So what pain they felt that time and what the horror time they have faced, these all things were going to be elaborated by Colonel MP Sen, sir. So I welcome sir in this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Good morning, everybody. I take this opportunity to thank madam and the group, KC Group of Institutes, who has given me this opportunity and invited me to talk on this very, heart-touching topic. I don't know when ma'am did know that I authored a book way back in 2000. I have not published it yet. 2000 to 2002, I wrote a book on Bangladesh, and of which the first chapter was dedicated to partition of India. And therefore, I did quite a lot of research on the subject. And when I got this invitation to talk on this subject, I said, ma'am, how did you know this? That I have studied this horror story very closely. The students, it is very easy to, blame anyone for the partition of India. And very easy to say so and so was to blame, so and so was not to blame, and you give a statements in for or even against. I am going to touch those things later. Was partition inevitable? Was partition required? That is also first a moot question. First of all, how many of you have read A Train to Pakistan by Khushwant Singh? I'm sure some of you would have read this. Some of you have seen film based on it, right? If you have not done it, please buy a copy. If it is available, if it on free PDF is available, please download and read it. I mean, your generation must know, right? I'll touch that later. Now, the horror story can be summed up by saying few statistics: loss of 1 million lives, 10 million people displaced, this side or that side. Hundreds of thousands of houses were burnt down to ashes. About a lakh of children, 1 lakh, okay, maybe more. There is no record. Children lost their homes, lost their parents, did not know where to go, and they're lost forever, abandoned. And we do not know whether they grew up or not. Where did they grow up? How did they grow up? Or whether they will at all survived. And more than the worst possible thing could have happened. More than a lakh of women were raped, abducted by the Reuters. Who's to blame? Hindus? Muslims? Sikhs? Yeah, one may say Hindus were people from other side. They say Hindus and Sikhs were responsible, and from this side, the people will say the Muslims were responsible. Actually, to be factual, none of us, none of Indians were responsible for it. Yes, they did what they did. They did what they did. I am saying so, and very responsibly, I am saying. They were they were mobbed, frenzied. People took that advantage. But why did it happen? Because the geopolitical interest of British to keep India under their thumbs was a policy of divided empire. What is divided empire? To be put simply, divide and rule. And what they used as a tool? The religious divide line. Right? So the interplay of politics with religion was at its best to suit the British Empire. Many people ask, why partition? Was partition inevitable? Many people say, if Jinnah was given this prime ministership, possibly we could have saved the partition. I have recorded in my book, when I publish, possibly world will again reread it, that even Gandhi once said, okay, let Jinnah be the prime minister. Okay, and it is recorded in the books. Okay, and so that on the chessboard, the British were playing those games, right? And they played it, the Islamic card, very, very well. And they did not do it in 47. They did it way back in 1900, 1906, to be honest. I mean, to be precise. When Congress was formed in 1886, if I'm not wrong, by Hume, and in and for 14 years of that 18th 19th century and the 20th century, 5 years, 19 years, not even 2 decades, they realized Congress has become too powerful a tool, and it will become a really, really problem. And since the leadership mostly were Parsis and Hindus, so they propped up Muslims as a countervailing force to face the Congress as an opposition. Jinnah once a most, I would say, the vocal voice in within the Congress against Khilafat movement when Gandhiji supported it. Later on, he became the sole voice of all Indian Muslims, where he was not. This side, Abul Kalam, Abul Maulana Azad was the president of Congress. He was representing such a big body, and Jinnah was claiming that I am the only leader of the Muslims, wherein he was most anglicized person, by the way. Okay, so I mean, coming to that, let me cut short this history. 1942 cabinet mission came. Okay, the Quit India movement were crushed. Sorry, Cripps mission came. Cripps mission failed. Quit India movement was crushed, and World War I, when it was finished, then that was the time British realized that okay, it is time to hang the boots, right? Pack up the bags and go back. But they did not want to lose the control of India as such. And therefore, they knew what they wanted to do. So, the Wavell in 45, Lord Wavell brought a plan which is known as Cabinet Mission. I do not know how many of you have read history or are the students of history. Please note The cabinet mission discourse started way back in June 45, and almost by the mid of June 46, it was almost through. But one slip of tongue by Nehru, I won't comment here or that. Okay, it reversed the position of Muslim League, and Jinnah said nothing doing. It was dumped, right? It was dumped. And not only Jinnah was also, I mean, give him that politician CA. Every politician wants to be prime minister or president or something like that. They are not gods. They are also human beings. They also have aim, political aim, right? So when Jinnah was given, a lollipop, that will give you. Actually, Pakistan was not supposed to be an independent state. Dominion status was not supposed to be given. But some of the Britishers working towards it. You can say, sir, you are talking out of hats. No. Please read a book called India from Curzon to Nehru and After by Durga Das. The book may not be available other than big libraries. Page 207 to 216. Those who have visited Vice Regal Lodge in Simla, or those who belong to Simla, since it is nearby Simla, when you take a tour of Vice Regal Lodge, ask the guide, where is the lift? You will be surprised. A two-story building should have a lift. And all those days, pre-partition era, there was no electricity probably that time. How could they have a lift? Yes, there is a lift. When I visited that place, I asked that to check what Durgadas is claiming. Durgadas is saying when there was the deliberations was going on in the month of June 45. Okay, he confided with him. Durgadas was a very, very famous journalist. I mean, I have read him in childhood. Okay, he said that if I am given Pakistan on platter, am I a fool? And I'm quoting with responsibility. Right? So there were forces which were working behind the curtains to divide India. And the Wavell plan failed. Cabinet mission failed at the nick of time. Then appears the great Lord Mountbatten. Lord Mountbatten had a checkered history. He was the Eastern Force commander when the Arakan war happened. That means Burma campaign. Okay, from Singapore to Burma, when Japan was winning and winning from Pearl Harbor to Burma and entered up to Imphal. Okay, that is the time he took charge and pushed them. So Field Marshal Sim and this Lord Mountbatten were the heroes that time. And come June 46, he was sent to India. And you all know, he's a charming person. Not only he came with a beautiful lady wife called Admina Mountbatten. And we all talk loosely the relationship between XYZ and lady. Right? I do not want to name. And that, of course, helped, to put his plan. You know what time? When did Lord Mountbatten came first time? To be honest, to be precise, I think let me read the date. Date was 31st, not 31st May, 22nd March. Now look at 22nd March 1947. He lands in Delhi. 1 month of deliberation. Okay, 1 month of deliberation. He spoke to various parties, all the stakeholders, and after 1 month, he goes back to London with his revised plan. Okay, and he comes back on 31st May 1947. Please note down 22nd March, 1 month of deliberations. He goes mid of April, sorry, mid of May, comes back 31st May. Then after jet lag, he took first and foremost, he announced on 2nd June his plan. 3rd June, radio announcement happens. And 4th June, he says 15th August is the day of power, transfer of power. How on earth, if today Amphan or Biparjoy type cyclone comes, the national government puts everything onto the stake, whatever resources it has. I mean, protect the people of few hundred kilometers, square kilometers, or not even 1,000. And here it is a huge, huge country, a subcontinent. The power of transfer was supposed to happen basically by dividing two states, Muslim majority states, Punjab and Bengal. And since they did not agree to, the Red Cliff was brought in to draw a line. Eastern Punjab came to India, Western Bengal came to India. So therefore, the majority of Muslims remain in east of Bengal and west of Pakistan. What will happen to the minority people in these two states? The minority people had to migrate, crisscross. And I said 10 million people. 10 million is not a small number, friends. And 1 million actually lost their homes. Do you remember that in every city you go, there is something called refugee colony, there is something called refugee market. Those friends who are from Kashmir, Pandits, Kashmiri Pandits, in your lifetime, in Delhi, in Jammu, in Lucknow, and other cities, those those who have migrated 25 years back, okay, and they are also called refugees. Do you know what is the kind of pain it hurts you? In your own homeland, let's say tomorrow you migrate from Punjab to Delhi, you are from Nawaz, am I right? And if you are thrown out of Nawaz for any reason and come to Haryana, come to Delhi, or go to UP, what will you be called? If you are called refugee, how would how would it hurt you? Everybody will feel bad. And look at the pain of these people. 10 million, 1 crore people. 1 crore people had lost their home and hearth, livelihoods, lost their women, children, everything. Raje, Maharaje, everybody from kings to fakirs, everybody were uprooted across the board. And when the trains were passing from that side to that side, this side, dead bodies were piled up. The frenzy was so much. Mobs were torching every village after village, this side or that side. So, and why this 14th August? Now let's come to that. So, if partition was definitely not inevitable, I can tell you. It was given detail, yeah, and British Empire did not have any other interest. They had an interest, definitive interest, to keep India under its Commonwealth for financial and defense reasons. So, why 14th August? 14th August, just not the Pakistan's Independence Day. 14th August 1946, Jinnah called for direct action day. And that day, Bengal burnt. That time, CM of undivided Bengal was Sahid Suhrawardi, who became later Prime Minister of Pakistan. And finally, he was dumped. He was dumped. In fact, I believe he was not only thrown out, he was said goodbye from the earth. Okay, this Suhrawardi wanted to become Jinnah's lieutenant. He was being CM. He left the rowdies and ruffians of Howrah and caused mayhem in Kolkata, and it spread in East Bengal up to Noakhali. And those who have seen film Gandhi, you would know that he was staying in Hydri Manzil, most difficult place. I have carried out this research on this book, okay, from the very building, from the very house of Suhrawardi, which is the Bangladesh High Commission's library till date, okay, in Parker Street. It's a red building. I'm telling you, this guy, because they wanted to keep Calcutta within East Bengal, which was not allowed because of the Red Cliff line, they burned Bengal. The Jinnah's diktat was either divided India or destroyed India. So therefore, you understand the kind of leadership they had. And since that nation has bred out of hatred, what best we can expect? We expect nothing from them. Who are better off? We know. Okay, hatred doesn't bring peace. Okay, but today what can we do? At least we should we should remember those people. We have forgotten. New generation possibly does not know what happened on direct action day on 14th August. And last year, the government decided to remember this day, commemorate this day as a horrors of the partition day. I would like to, you know, ask you guys again. Horror can be, I said that a train to Pakistan. If you cannot read Sadat Hassan Manto. Only one small story. Khol do. Khol do. It will shake you. It will shake you to the nerve. I can tell you, man. It is so many times a woman was raped and in her unconsciousness, she was sleeping in a room. When somebody says, Darwaja khol do, khidkiyan khol do. Do you know what she did? She removed her clothes in her unconscious mind. Sadat Hassan Manto never stayed as a free man. He always lived in jail. He knew what the horror of partition was. I would like to sum it up by Amrita Pritam's poem, Aj ਅੱਖਾਂ ਵਾਰਿਸ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਕਵਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੋਲ ਤੇ ਆਪ ਕਿਤਾਬੇ ਇਸ਼ਕ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਅਗਲਾ ਵਰਕਾ ਖੋਲ ਇੱਕ ਰੋਈ ਧੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਤੂੰ ਲਿਖ ਲਿਖ ਮਾਰੇ ਵੈਨ ਅੱਜ ਲੱਖਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਰੋਂਦੀਆਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਵਾਰਿਸ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣ ਬੇਦਰਦ ਦੀਆਂ ਦਰਦੀਆਂ ਉੱਥ ਤੱਕ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਅੱਜ ਵੇਲੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਲਾਸਾਂ ਵਿਛੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਲਹੂ ਦੀ ਭਰੀ ਚਨਾਬ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਂ ਪਾਨੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜ਼ਹਿਰਾਲਾ ਤੇ ਉਨ ਪਾਣੀਆਂ ਧਰਾਤੂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਲਾ ਇਸ ਜਰਖੇਜ਼ ਜ਼ਮੀਂ ਦੇ ਲੂਲੂ ਫੁੱਟੀਆਂ ਜ਼ਹਿਰ ਗਿੱਟ ਗਿੱਟ ਚੜੀਆਂ ਲਾਲੀਆਂ ਫੁੱਟ ਫੁੱਟ ਚੜੀਆਂ ਕਹਿਰ ਅੱਜ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਵਾਰਿਸਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਕਬਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਜੈਂਟਲਮੈਨ I hope you understand what the pain was. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. It was very wonderful. You have explained everything. And I think that a student have knew about this, that what the people have faced in that time when there was a partition. And we hope that we will try to give the information to our students which has been happen in the previous in our country. Thank you very much for giving your precious time. As you are not in India in the midnight from USA, you have given your time. That is very important for us. And we would love when you will be in India and visit in our campus. And I will try to invite you.
Sure,
So,
ma'am. Thank you. Any question anyone wants to ask?
hi. Anybody have any question? आज आपके बीच में एक बहुत बड़े प्रोफेसर कर्नल एमपी सेन सर हैं जिन्होंने आपको उस टाइम पे सर का एक रिसर्च है उन्होंने आपके सामने इलेबोरेट किया है अगर आप लोगों को कोई भी डाउट है तो आप अपना कोई क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं किसी टीचर के मन में भी कोई डाउट है तो टीचर भी पूछ सकता है
Yes, any teacher.
Okay, if anybody have any question, please give us in the writing. I will send to Colonel Dr. MP Sen sir, and you will get a reply from him because sir is with us every time. Thank you very much, sir, for giving your
Thank you very much,
time.
madam. Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
have a good day, madam, and very successful webinar.
Thank you. And in advance, happy Independence Day.
To you too, and your group of students, teachers, everybody. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.